Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football channel for a FIFA 22 Ultimate Team Chelsea player ratings prediction video. FIFA 22, I'm not going to lie, FIFA 21, I didn't play that much of it. I got the game and then I hardly played it apart from the first 6 weeks or so, and then after that my flipping PlayStation got stolen a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know if it's just because I'm 27 years old now and my PlayStation being stolen isn't actually the biggest issue that I have to worry about. I'm more worried about the security in my gaff. But I didn't repurchase FIFA 21. FIFA 22 is supposed to be coming out soon, but they bloody delayed the game, didn't they? So we're going to go and predict the Chelsea player ratings today because I always find it interesting. Obviously, whenever I play Ultimate Team, whenever I play career mode, I always pick Chelsea. I always like to play with Chelsea players. But unfortunately, in FIFA, especially Ultimate Team, Chelsea players just kind of get left behind a little bit, really. I think N'Golo Kante is always quite high. And other than that, the Chelsea player ratings are quite often a little bit low, if we're going to be polite about things. And I think that a lot of that in the past couple of seasons has been down to the fact that young players, it's very difficult for EA to give high ratings to younger players who aren't proven, even if, when they play, they're still one of the best players in the league. I'm talking about Mason Mount's redonkulous ratings for the past couple of years. But we're going to begin in alphabetical order, taking a look. Oh, dog, what do you want, mate? He's going outside. He's leaving me. He's buggering off because he's heard the Baxo man. It's like the food that people come out and buy it, whatever. Anyway, we're going to start with Marcos Alonso today, who again is a player on FIFA who, it's always interesting with Alonso because last season he didn't play very much. But now, as they're obviously trying to create the game, Alonso is one of the best left-backs in the league at the moment. So, again, it's tough. You have to look at this from a FIFA Ultimate Team perspective. But the reason I'm making the video is because I like to give my Chelsea bias on things. And Alonso, I believe, will be an 82 rated gold rare card. I think Marcos Alonso is a very steady defender. He's been playing at top level now for quite some time, whether that is from the bench for Chelsea or playing in big games, scoring big goals, Tottenham, Arsenal, he always loves one against them. Marcos Alonso, I've given him an 82 rated gold card. I think there's a chance it could go down to like an 80 or an 81 because of the way or how much he played last season, but I've given the European champion an 82. And I also think that Chelsea being European champion should bode well for the cards this year, but with EA, you absolutely never know. Moving in to Cesar Azpilicueta. Now, I've given Azpi an 85 rated centre-back card. I think that Azpilicueta obviously will most likely be a right-back or a wing-back with his card this year, but I think Azpi as a centre-back has done so much in the Premier League, and to repeat myself again, now being the European champion, I think this guy has been at the top of the game now for so long that an 85 rated card would actually not be the craziest thing that we've ever seen. Will EA do it? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. We move into Trevor Chalobah. Now this is another one where we kind of got to take off the blue tinted glasses and put on the realistic FIFA Ultimate Team glasses. Chalobah is not going to be above 80. There's absolutely no way because he's just had 3 breakthrough games at Chelsea, and I'm sure that most of the ratings are already decided, just not yet announced. I've given Chalobah a 74. And again, you guys can sit here if you don't know much about FIFA and say, Benson, you're ludicrous, you're stupid, you're absolutely dumb. I just think that's what it's going to be. You know, I can't see it being any higher because of he's not really played enough. And I think by the end of the season, we will see some informed cards for Ultimate Team for sure. Team of the weeks, all of that stuff. And you know what? If Chelsea go and win the league, who knows? Big Trev might even be in team of the season. But I'll just leave that one for later. Moving in to Benjamin bloody Chilwell. I've given Chilwell an 83 rated card. At the moment, if we move it away from FIFA for a second, I say Ben Chilwell is one of the most unlucky players in world football right now. Marcos Alonso has had the dream start to the season, so therefore he can't get in the Chelsea team, and he's behind Luke Shaw for England. So Ben Chilwell's not getting that much football, but it's absolutely no reason in terms of his own wrongdoing as to why that's happening. I think Chilwell's going to be 83. We move into Andreas Christensen, the Danish Maldini, as he is known within the Chelsea fan base. I've given Christensen an 84 rated card. Again, after seeing what Chelsea did in the Champions League last season, I think surely this year is the year that FIFA Ultimate Team give Chelsea players the credit that they deserve. And I think right now in European football, I said it on Twitter the other day, I don't think there are many better defenders right now in European football than Andreas Christensen. He played 2 or 3 times, I think, for Denmark, kept clean sheets in every game, came on in the Champions League final, was absolutely gargantuan for Chelsea. Since Thomas Tuchel has come in, Christensen has become one of the very best in the business. And I think an 84 rated card would certainly suffice. Moving into Kai Havertz. Now, we've given him an 86 rated centre forwards card here. Last year in FIFA 21, I'm looking at it on the screen now, he ended up with a 95 rated striker card with 95 pace, 94 dribbling and 95 shooting, and his base card was 85. Based off of the knowledge I do have with Ultimate Team, because obviously I did used to make FIFA videos back in the day on the Herder of Buffalo alias here on YouTube. Shout out if you remember that one, hit the like button if you do. Havertz was an 85, I think I'll put him up to an 86 because it's very rare that too many players take a big jump in FIFA Ultimate Team. And in terms of when you get into the 80s, anything more than like a +1 or a -1 is pretty dramatic, mostly year by year. So Kai Havertz, he scored the winning goal for Chelsea in the Champions League final. Roman knows what it's worth, and I think it's worth giving him a +1 on his base card this year. 86 rated centre forwards card. We move into Callum HudsonOdoi. This is another tough one because as Chelsea fans, we all know that there is a great footballer in Callum HudsonOdoi. FIFA has never been kind to Callum HudsonOdoi, and that is down to the fact that Callum doesn't play enough football. It is hot topic in the Chelsea community right now. We know that Callum's a great player. Will that great player come out at Chelsea? It is still remaining to be seen, but I've given Callum HudsonOdoi a gold-rated 77 card. And again, it's FIFA, it's Ultimate Team. They never really jump it too much. Callum hasn't done anything yet on the pitch to warrant a crazy jump in fortune. And again, 77 is just what it's going to have to be. With Callum HudsonOdoi, we're still talking about potential. Until he plays more in the Chelsea team, the conversation can never really be anything else. We move into Georginio. Now, Georginio is one of the favourites, or one of the contenders, should we say, for the Ballon d'Or. So surely that should stick him in the 90s. Unfortunately, that ain't gonna happen. Georginio, I've given an 86 rated card. Again, he's been around for a long time. He's had some good FIFA Ultimate Team cards. And if I look at the card he had last year, he had 83. So this is actually one of the biggest ups. And I think, again, there's not many players in European football who have gone from being like, yeah, all right, 83 rated Ultimate Team card, to raise it up by 3 after everything Georginio has done. I can literally sit here with full confidence in saying that I believe this one is going to happen. I've got no insider scoop, got no knowledge, or anybody I talk to really at EA, nobody anymore. I used to speak to a couple, but now I don't. I just think he's going to get an 86 rated. Let me know your thoughts on J5 in the comments. Moving into N'Golo Kante. Now, for me, N'Golo Kante is still up there as one of the best midfielders in the world. Now he's a Champions League winner. He had an 88 base card last year, and because I absolutely adore this guy, I'm willing to throw the gauntlet down and say that can we finally just respect N'Golo Kante for just how brilliant he is and give him an 89 rated card. I didn't give him a 90 because I just cannot envisage that happening, but I could envisage someone being there at EA thinking, you know what? He's just so good, you know. You watch him for Chelsea in the chat. I keep going on about it, but I just can't get over the fact we're champions of bloody Europe, mate. I'm not going to lie to you. Kante, 89. I'm going to shut up about it because I think he deserves to be 99, but that is beyond the point. We're going to go now with Kepa Arrizabalaga. I've given Kepa an 82 rated card. Again, it's a shame for Kepa because his career has kind of slowed in the past year because of Edouard Mendy, and before that, it just wasn't quite working at Chelsea. But I actually believe, despite not being first choice keeper, I actually think this is the best spell that Kepa has had at the club. He's working very hard. He seems to absolutely love being at Chelsea, regardless of whether he's number 1 or not. Has a great relationship with Edouard Mendy. And I still think there's a top keeper in there. And however long we have him at Chelsea, I think we're very, very lucky. I've given Kepa Arrizabalaga an 82 rated card. I think the lack of game time means that he's not really going to go up at all. It's not possible. But I do believe he'll still have a very solid card. We move into Mateo Kovacic. And I think for Kovacic, there's not really been like any excess breakthroughs in terms of the way he's been regarded within the footballing world. Everyone sees Kovacic as a very solid, sturdy midfielder. And I think an 84 rated gold card is exactly what Mateo Kovacic will get and probably what he deserves. Moving into Romelu Lukaku. Now, I was debating with myself here. I was like, do I keep this super realistic and say Chelsea won't get a 90 rated player card? Or do I throw down what I think is bloody deserved according to the old bonts of GBFC and I say, yes, big Romelu should be a 90 rated striker card. There's very few strikers in the world that can compete with this guy. I also know that those of you that are really big into FIFA Ultimate Team still will tell me it's not going to happen, Benson. You know, they don't do this too often. They don't give too many 90s. I know. But I think Romelu should be one of them. I'm going to move on because I get a little bit irate about this sometimes. But Edouard Mendy, this guy deserves a little bumperoonie in the upside direction. And I've given him an 84 rated card. He was UEFA's goalkeeper of the year, Champions League winner. I don't know how many times I've said that in this video, but if it's annoyed some of you, I'm sorry, but you're on the wrong channel, mate. Mendy, 84 rated. I've avoided doing all the stats in this video today because we'd have been sat here all bloody day. But I do think Mendy, all round, is just a very, very top goalkeeper. And I think now he is regarded as one of the best in Europe. Now, 84 rated won't be one of the best in Europe because, well, he might deserve higher. I think he does deserve higher. But realistically, I think if EA are going to give him a big boost, which they should, I think it will only be to about an 84. We move into Mason Mount. Now, Mason Mount is the one. In terms of people being a bit annoyed, irate, baffled by the rating system in Ultimate Team. Everybody now, I think, I mean, I'm sure there's still some haters out there, but I also think these guys have got nothing better to do with their lives than just stick to the agenda. Mason Mount is one of the top players in Europe. I'm not sneezing because I didn't mean it. I'm sneezing because I need to sneeze. He is. There's just no debate anymore about this. You know, he's one of the most important players for Gareth Southgate's England, one of Chelsea's most important players, and even though it's another massive jump, I don't think it is unnecessary to say that Mason Mount is an 86 rated player. I think in a couple of years' time, I'm pretty sure it's still going to be at Chelsea, but we're going to be talking about one of Europe's highest rated performing midfielders. And I think this year, Mason Mount will get the respect on his Ultimate Team card that he duly deserves. We move into Christian Pulisic. Now, Pulisic, again, is another interesting one. Last year, I think, let me have a look. I think he was a base 82 or 81. Yeah, Christian Pulisic was an 81 rated card. And I think that this year he will go up. I was going to say 83, but I've given him an 84. And this is one of those Chelsea bias moments, I know. But Christian Pulisic, I just think he's good enough to be an 84 rated card. And I move into another 84 rated prediction, Reece James. I think at this point in time, Trent Alexander-Arnold has had high rated cards in the past couple of years. And I think now it is a debate that everybody at least can argue, one side or the other, that Reece James and Trent Alexander-Arnold are at least on the same level. I think even Liverpool fans will be aware that that's probably an accurate statement to make. So, with that being said, I've given Reece James an 84 rated as well because I just think he at least deserves that. Reece James is an 84. We move into Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Again, another unfortunate story. If you'd have said to me 4 or 5 years ago, predict Ruben Loftus-Cheek's FIFA 22 Ultimate Team card, I'd have probably given you something along the lines of an 85, 86 rated card. Now, unfortunately, because that injury recovery's not been great, he was part of a team last season that got relegated. He's not getting game time at Chelsea. He's still at Chelsea, not playing. The best I can think for Ruben is an 80 rated gold card. I think it could even be as low as like a 77, 78, but I've given him an 80 and he'd be a strong card to use nonetheless. We move into Tony Rudiger. Again, another player who I could sit here and justify an 85, 86, but with this one, I've gone with the realism again. I've kind of done a mixture. I know it's annoying. I've done like, some I really want it to be this high, some I've gone realistic FIFA cards. 84 rated for Tony Rudiger. I think Chelsea across the board should have very high rated defenders this season because of the way that our defence was in the second half of last season. Tony could have been higher, but I've given him an 84. And then there is Saul Niguez, who for the past 18 months or so has not been the player he once was. However, I still think within Ultimate Team, he will still be regarded as one of Europe's top midfielders and not as high as he might have been if his career would have carried on doing this from a couple of years ago. But I've given Saul an 83 rated rare gold central midfield card. Thiago Silva, he's always been one of the top players on FIFA Ultimate Team over the past few years, or pretty much since Ultimate Team came out. And now he's 36 years old, and I think it is only a matter of time before we see a big decline. But as a Champions League winner again, I keep bringing it back to this, but he's got to stay at least in the mid-80s, and I've given Thiago Silva an 85. Moving into Timo Werner. This is one that a lot of people would have been very interested in. Let me take a look at the base card for Werner from last year. It was an 85 rated striker card. Yes, there is the element of Werner as a striker is no longer seen as a prolific scorer the way that he was when he was at Leipzig, or prolific's kind of the wrong word to use because that means over a big duration of time. But he was considered a top goal scorer at Leipzig. And now at Chelsea, yes, he still contributed more goals and assists than anybody else, but that kind of top level 30 goal a season striker idea that people had about Werner is no longer the case. So for that reason, I think he's going to dip 2 numbers down to an 83 rated card. He's obviously still going to be a great Ultimate Team card because of the pace and everything else, but I think he's going to go down to an 83. Now the final card is of course the one Chelsea player whose name begins with a Z, Hakim Ziyech. I'll give Ziyech an 84 rated card. I still think he's going to be one of the top players on the game in terms of wingers. Well, 84 is not top rated, but despite the first season at Chelsea in terms of his own personal stats not being mind-blowing, I still think it was good enough, and I still think he'll be considered one of the top players. I also don't think on FIFA 22 that they can be that harsh on Chelsea players with putting too many of them down just because they didn't play every week. So I think an 84 is still a decent card for Ziyech. Hopefully we see him a lot more this season. But anyway, that is your A to Z of Chelsea FIFA 22 player rating predictions for the Ultimate Team game. Let me know yours in the comments down below. Are there any in this video that you strongly agree with or any that you strongly disagree with? And if you guys want to see FIFA content, I think there's only way I'm going to be able to do this is if I stream it. I don't think I can do actual videos, but I could definitely stream it. If you guys want to see me stream FIFA 22 when it comes out, I would have to do a lot of renovations to my internet and connection, but if it's really wanted, I could do it. So let me know in the comments, let me know by hitting the like button on this video today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you guys later. Come on, you Blues.